You all are probably farming for that Novus Warden at 3k points. Have you ever wondered, are any of these creatures worth buying? So that's what I'm gonna help you guys figure out today. Here we have our little LSS creature tier list, and for those of you wondering, I'm not ranking these on how good the creatures are. I'm ranking these on how worth it is to buy it with your LSS points. Because I'm sure that's just what matters. I mean, how fun a creature is to use is all personal preference. So you guys can buy the creatures you like if you really want to. But if you're looking to see if the creature you like is even worth buying, then this is the video for you. And one more thing, I just wanted to say, none of these are worth buying if you don't already have enough for Novus Warden, because Novus Warden should be your main goal. But if you already do have Novus Warden, or if you already have enough, then you can buy some extra creatures along the way, and I'm going to tell you which ones are the best value. So I'm going to go on my Discord server's value list. You can find this link in the description. But we have the LSS creatures. So Yggdrasix is actually worth 1k, and it costs 700 to buy with LSS points. So if we do 1000 divided by 700, we will get 1.4. And what this means basically is that for every 1 LSS point you spend on the creature, you're getting back 1.4 mush when you sell it. And I think 1.4 mush for every LSS point is not great. I mean, there's more potential with the other creatures. So I think Yggdrasix should definitely be at okay. A lot of you people are going to be buying the Yggdrasix because you're not going to have enough for the other creatures after you get the Novus. And now we have Valkyrie, only costing 925. It is a very fun, fast, flying healer. It is actually worth 1 to 2k. So for every LSS point you're spending on this Valkyrie, you're gonna get 1 to 2 mush back, and it basically has potential to be better than the Yggdrasix. But if nobody offers you like over 1.5k, then you've wasted your LSS points. And I think I'm going to put this at okay actually, because a lot of people like this creature, and maybe you can get like some high demand, maybe you could sell it for over 2k, but that's rare. The only reason the Yggdrasix is at okay is because it's so cheap. It doesn't give you good value, but it's cheap, so you can just like buy this whenever you buy the Novus Warden and you don't have any other LSS points. Also, one very important thing that I forgot to say. Do not sell any LSS creatures you buy. Because, for example, if you buy this Angelic Warden right now, for example, and you sell it for like 8k mush, it's gonna be worth like 20k in a few months. This is basically an investment. Just buy them now and then sell them later when LSS is gone and people have forgotten about like LSS completely. Right now is the lowest value these creatures will ever be. So definitely not a good time to sell them, but the best time to buy them. Next up we have the Auroron. Now here's the thing about the Auroron, everybody loves this creature, but it costs 1k LSS points, and right now it's only worth 1 to 2k much, so the same as the Valkyrie and nearly the same as the Yggdrasix. But I'm predicting that because of how much people love this creature, and I think it's gonna gain the most value out of all the creatures, I mean compared to what it's already worth. 1 to 2k might be worth like 3 to 5k maybe in the future, but right now it's actually lower value than the Valkyrie. I don't think it's too good. I think this is a bad buy, because you're getting 1k mush or 1 to 2k mush for 1k LSS points. That is crazy. That is not worth it. You guys should buy other stuff. Now, here's where it gets exciting. We have the Glowvacus, which I think is a creature in low demand. Actually, I don't think a lot of people want this creature, but when people want it, they actually offer 3 to 6k. If we go in our calculator here, if you sell it for 3k, which is pretty much like the lowest it goes for when someone wants it, you're gonna be getting 2 mush for every LSS point. Now that's not great, I know, but it's definitely great for the lowest amount. And the highest amount is actually gonna be like, okay, I'm too lazy to do this, but 4 mush for every LSS point you spend on the Glowvacus if you sell it for 6k. It's a pretty good buy. Then we have the Dielatura. This creature costs 2.5k LSS points, and I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks it's overpriced, but it's being sold for 4 to 6k. Now that sounds like a lot, but for 2.5k LSS points, it's not too much. That should be like 1.5 to 3 mush for every LSS point you spend. But that's the thing about this creature. It might actually be a good thing that no one's buying it right now in LSS, because it actually might be rarer after the LSS event is over, because there's gonna be very few of it. But that's all predictions. Nothing is guaranteed. Now let's move on. Now the Zeternos. I personally don't like this creature, but we're not talking about how fun the creature is, we're talking about the value. The Zeternos actually costs 1,750 LSS points. This is because the leading team gets a discount, and I'm sure no one wants this creature. It is the worst. This is probably the most hated creature in Creatures of Sonaria. Maybe, I don't know. I should make a video on that actually. And yeah, as I predicted, this creature only goes for 1 to 2k, even though it's it's so expensive in the LSS store. Yeah, I think you guys can guess that this is a terrible buy. Not only terrible value, but a terrible creature. Do not get the Zeternos, please. Next up, we have the Angelic Warden. A very, very, very interesting one. The Angelic Warden costs 2,000 LSS points, which is actually lower than the Dielatora and just above the, what is it called, Zeternos. But the Angelic Warden can be sold for 8 to 13k. The problem about the Angelic Warden is that it's very unstable. The value can really go down, it might go up, I don't know. But when it's unlocked in the teams, everybody's gonna buy it. So, might go down, but right now, you guys already know 8 to 13k sold for just 2k LSS points. That's an amazing buy. You would be getting minimum 4 mush for each LSS point. And if you're a bit lucky, you can get like 6 mush for each LSS point. And a lot of people really like the Angelic Warden for some reason, but I think it's gonna go up in value in the future, like maybe in a few months, because it's the Angelic Warden. It's always worth a lot. Next up, we have the Aura Tomb and the Iriza, which are actually the new creatures. So this might actually be very different than you might expect. As you guys can see, the Aura Tombs and the Iriza cost actually more than the Angelic Warden, even though the Angelic is worth more. It costs 2.5k LSS points, the both of them. The both of them should be the same value. Yeah, both 6 to 8k. That should be like 2 to 4 mush for each LSS point you spend. But the thing is that these creatures just came out, and it is the only time they ever came out in an event. All these creatures, they came out like 3 times before. In the LSS event before and the one before that. But this is the only time they were ever coming out. So I think they're gonna be sold for more in the future. A lot more than the others. I think these two are actually good buys. Next up, Novus Warden. No value, but it's untradeable and definitely an amazing buy. The only chance you'll ever be able to get the Novus Warden in. Then we have the creature that didn't even come out yet. But this creature is actually coming out at the end of LSS, like in next Friday or something. And it's 100% gonna be worth a lot, because it's like coming out at the end. You're not gonna have a lot of time to get it. And if it is in the LSS store, I'm not sure if it's gonna be, they might change it. Definitely an amazing buy. So as you guys can see, the Wardens and this thing are the best buys that you can do. If I had to rank them, I'd say Novus Warden, then Angelic Warden, then this. I think the good one would be Iriza, then Oratum, then Golvakus. It all depends on whether people like Iriza or Oratum more. I'm not sure. This can vary, but this looks pretty good for now. The okay buys, definitely Yig Jack Sticks, then Valkyrie, then Dielator. This is right. But now that I have done the value list on how worth it each creature is, I actually want to do a quick like 1 minute value list on how enjoyable they are, or how much I personally enjoy them. So, starting off with the Yig Jack Sticks, I actually love this creature. It is so fun, it has good stats, it has good weight, and it's very actually friendly beginner. It is beginner friendly because it actually has a tail whip and it has defensive poison. It's pretty nice to use. I'm putting this at A. And Valkyrie, I haven't used this a lot. I've only used it like twice before, but personally I don't like healing too much, but definitely a fun creature, so also A. And now we have Auroron, which has a tail whip. It has nice damage. It's actually pretty fun to use, but because I don't like slow creatures, I'm putting this at B. I did put the Jack Sticks at A, but that's because it's a lot stronger than the Auroron actually. Next up we have the Glovakus. It's like a tier 3. It's not pretty much a small creature. It's not too strong, and it's aquatic, I think. So I'm putting this at B. I don't really enjoy it too much. I haven't used it too much. Now, the Dielatura. This thing jumps and climbs, which is an amazing combination. Because, I mean, the only problem about climbing is that whenever you start climbing, you can't, like, get off. You always have to go to the end. This thing could just jump off of everything. It's so fun. It's like a chipmunk. Then we have the Eternal, so I don't think we need to explain this. Angelic Warden, I don't know, probably B. Iriza, very fun to use in my opinion, because the Iriza is pretty much a glass cannon, and I love ankle biting with creatures like that. Oratum, A tier, it's just heals very fast, very fun to KOS with, but deals low damage, but deals status effects, so yeah. Novus Warden, surprisingly boring. New creature, I have no idea, let's just put it there. But yeah, this is the value list for how much I enjoy each creature. So, if you guys enjoyed, subscribe.